Good evening, everyone. Time for another silver update. This is the 1-minute chart of silver provided by netdania.com. You can click on the link below. An absolutely spectacular smackdown in the after hours. This may be capitulation. We've got that $20 support. You'll note we're $1.50 above that price. So while we have this information on the screen, let's zoom and look at this. Now here's what's absolutely fascinating. If you'll note, the largest drop that we have here, this drop, the total drop here, we're talking about from $22.40 to about $20. So we're talking about a $2.40 drop. We're talking about a 10+% change in the price of silver. And here's what's fascinating. From here, 22.2 down to here, 20.05 or so. We'll just say 20. For $2.20 of this move, you can see we've got this red candle on less than 5,000 contracts. We've got this red or whatever the volume is. I don't want to get in that argument. And this red candle on 470. And this huge red candle that moves from 21.60 down to 20, a $1.60 move, a nearly 10% move in the price of silver right there on no volume. So this is a clear indication that the silver criminals are at work. This is probably silver capitulation. Let's go out and look at the weekly. We managed to touch down all the way down and below the 2008 Bear Stearns top. You can see that there. Let's draw the line in. Now that is absolutely fascinating. Think about that. Think about the fact that silver is not worth anything more than it was before the financial crisis occurred. Think about all of the money that's been printed since that time. And they would have you believe that silver is not any more valuable than it was back then. So, an incredible overnight criminal operation in the after-hours market. They absolutely know no bounds. We don't have anything going on in the currencies to indicate that. We don't have anything going on in the yen to speak of. The British pound, nothing to speak of. So of course the dollar index is just going to be on that spike that it was on, and we don't see anything happening in gold. In oil. We'll go over and look at gold here, and we'll pull it back to the 1 minute. So you can see that move in gold. We did get a spike up, a gap up, and then a crash down. A move from about 1365 to about 1345. So about a $20 move in the price of gold, as opposed to a $2.40 move in the price of silver. Absolutely unbelievable. Now, of course, with these prices trading in a matter of minutes, literally, of course, nobody gets to trade. This is just about blowing out all the stops and playing a technical game. So they've already got it $1.50 above where it went, which is typical. They like to do their criminal manipulation operations in the after hours. Will this be the disconnect? Will this follow down? I would be blown away if that happened, but that could happen. So again, to the weekly, we can see we've corrected all the way back and more to that Bear Stearns top. Absolutely incredible. Actually, all the way back down to here. So all of the gain in silver from QE2, which was right about here, has been completely erased. This is, in my opinion, capitulation. Who's throwing in the towel? Anybody who knows what they're doing as a silver stacker is stacking more. Now, let's jump over to APMEX and look. The price on APMEX is now showing down 96 cents. I'm assuming at some point it showed down $2.40. Can you get a corresponding buy out of the metals, the available silver? I don't know. The premium on junk is still about $6 above spot. But I did have a pick that I really like. I may pick some of these up myself. I may wait to see what happens. This is in the Lunar Series. You can see that you have this 2013 Snake half ounce. When you add this together, you get about $29.50. Now, admittedly, that's going to be $8, $9 above spot, but still, that seems like an incredible buy to me. The Year of the Dragon one has not come down as much, and then of course the other half ounce that are the years that have passed, they're either not available or they're a lot higher priced. You can see the 2013 Year of the Snake, they're not adjusting that price. It's been sitting there at $41.50 for the longest time. But there is the 2 ounce available. So if you look over here, the 2 ounce Year of the Snake, they have about 1,500 of those. That's going to come in at $28 an ounce. So when you think about the fact that junk silver is going $5 and $6 above spot, spot's about $21.50 right now. So we're talking about $27.50, and this coin is $28 an ounce. An incredible deal in my opinion. So let's get over to some questions of the night. I haven't looked at these, so we're just going to take them as they come. This is from silver.era. Hi, Brother John F. I'm Hong Kongese and becomes your follower since 2009. Thanks for your great contributions to us. Visit your site day by day in these years. Thanks for your continuous info and faith for us. I have a view arise recently and want to share with you. Obviously, his English isn't that great. And see what is your comment on it. I think that the recent big drop in gold prices is related to the drop in the Japanese yen. I believe the Japanese government already received admission by Fed to let Japanese yen falling without interruption by the Fed. But more than that, the Fed will take advantage of this opportunity at the expense of the Japanese yen falling to boot up US dollar relative to gold by drifting down US dollar Japanese yen, but keep gold in Japanese yen almost within the range of 130 to 150,000 yen per ounce of gold. So as every time Japanese yen is dropping, gold will drop together with the Japanese yen. So even though Japanese yen is dropping, Japanese yen purchasing power is not deteriorating as worse it should be. According to Kyle Bass's analysis, US dollar Japanese yen drops must be to 150 and maybe back down to 200 in the near future. So I predict when the US dollar Japanese yen comes down to 150, gold with a drop around 1,900. I believe gold will bounce back when the US dollar Japanese yen is finished falling, so it may need to wait until US dollar Japanese yen reaches 200. What do you think on this hypothesis? Well, I'm not sure about that. Let's look at the US dollar Japanese yen. And you can see it's nowhere near, we have to go to the monthly actually, nowhere near what Kyle Bass is saying. If we're talking about 200 on the Japanese yen, we're talking about all the way back up here. So that would be an incredible devaluation. That would make this move that we've had so far look like nothing. I don't think that's going to happen. It could happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. Now, in regards to that relationship to gold, I don't really see the relationship because I don't see the gold flowing into Japan. I don't see the Japanese having a healthy economy at all. Although the Japanese do have some foreign exchange, their trade deficit is worsening. We would expect it to worsen, even though the conventional wisdom is that it should get better. I don't agree with the conventional wisdom because, again, as your imports go down in price, your exports go up in price. So I think it may be correct that the Fed has convinced the Japanese to commit suicide to save the dollar. That may be the case, but I don't think that devaluing their currency is going to help the Japanese at all in the long run. And I don't think it's going to have any impact on the gold that's flowing east, because the gold that's flowing east is flowing to China and India, and Japan, in my opinion, is just a non-player in this game. Next question, sourcing the silver short position. Hey, Brother John F., I appreciate the time and effort you put into this site. Thanks and keep it up. Anyway, I'm looking for sources to find the movement of the silver short position from as far back as possible. In a past article, Ted Butler wrote, quote, in 1983, the big COMEX silver short seller was Drexel Burnham Lambert. Although the origination of Drexel's short position began earlier at J. Aaron and A.C. Leon Israel. After Drexel went bankrupt in the late 80s, Drexel trading operation was taken over by AIG Trading. Around 2004, the big silver short position was transferred to Bear Stearns and then on to JP Morgan. Right. Where can I find the sources that show the transfers? If you can point me in the right direction, it'd help a lot. Well, I can't really tell you that much. I know that Bixweir has talked about it, some of it going to Citigroup lately. Probably go into Bixweir, rotoruta.com. You can fish through the Charles Savoy articles, very, very long articles. Probably has some information on that over at davidmorgansilver-investor.com. Other than that, I think a lot of it is just rumor and no one really knows. Of course, these people aren't going to let you know who's taking the position. I believe for the longest time that it is the Federal Reserve that is behind these criminal operations. And if they were pushed, probably, and I think the reason why we have ramping up Homeland Security and police state and all this other nonsense that they're doing is that these people really don't want to be held accountable, and they're afraid of being held accountable, because I think if you had trials and you actually you did subpoenas and you took depositions to find out who did it and why they did it, you'd find out it is a criminal conspiracy. It goes to the highest levels of government, and a lot of very important people would end up in jail. So that's why there's not a lot of information about it, because there are too many important people who would be in trouble if they did. Best semi-numi play ever from Sandman. Hey, Brother John, thank you for all you do and how you change so many minds like mine. Blogs like yours show me there truly is hope out there. My question is this: is the best semi-numi play ever sitting on our doorstep right now? The 2013 1-ounce silver Kookaburra Snake Privy is back available at MEX this weekend for $27, $28. Odds are it won't last long. With a mintage of 50,000, most likely won't be available at this price ever again after this batch sells out. Given the continual worsened economic and monetary situation we're in right now, as the manipulated silver price back down to the $21, $22 range, this is the best semi-numi play ever. Well, let's take a look at that one, because I didn't see that, and I've already purchased these, and I purchased them when they ran out. I really honestly didn't think they'd get them back in, so it's possible that they've gotten them back in. I always like to sort by price, low to high. And you can see we've got, there it is. There's the Snake Privy, $27.47. I think I got mine, I don't remember, maybe $30. So they are back in stock. And they have 7,000 of those. Yeah, I agree. That's they have nearly, what is that, 14% of the entire mintage of that coin right there for $27.50. I think if you were a millionaire, let's see, how much is it? It's going to cost you $205,000 to take every single one of those. I think that your $200,000 investment with some, maybe a little bit of selling on eBay or something like that, you could probably double that investment within 2 years, but that's a guess. So we'll watch this one closely, and we will watch the Snake 2013 Snake half ounce and 2 ounce that I covered, as well as this Snake Privy Kookaburra. Those are all incredible buys. I've always bought the semi-numis. One of my big ones that I really liked was the 2010 Tiger. Those now go from $85 to $109. I think I got those for 25 or 30 bucks. So I really do like the semi-numis. I think they give you the ability to withstand these drops, and boy, is that a drop that we're looking at. Again, the corruption that is apparent in this market. The fact that they could drop the price of silver overnight on no volume, $2.40, and snap it back. Of course, that invalidates all the stops because the price has traded at that, even though it really didn't trade there. But they can say it traded there. So we will have stops taken out. We will have people who were long silver, and they got sold out at $20. So they probably took a position around 22, thinking that was the bottom, and they just made a quick 10% loss, and the market snaps right back. That's how the criminals operate. And when the regulators don't regulate them, then they operate with impunity. There is no fighting them because they're rigged markets. They're criminal, organized crime run markets, and it goes to the very top of the government. So you're not going to beat them at their paper game, no matter how hard you try. The only way you're going to beat them is to take the bargains that they hand you by stacking physical silver, and there's some incredible bargains tonight. And we'll talk to you next time.